Hello, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV back with another video, and in this video we are going to be going over the new music for the week. You know, obviously we have a featured single up here with Rick Ross and Meek Mill. I think them and 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne are set to drop collab albums, so there's some really interesting rap tandems that are coming out with albums soon. Obviously, in terms of mainstream and what everyone's going to be listening to, it's not like there's anything that's going to be crazy here in the month of November lined up. It looks like the month of October was a really good month for music. Maybe Yeet drops his album next month. Maybe Cardi, but other than that, I don't know. The hiccups, I just got done hitting cardio, so if my hair looks a little nasty, it is what it is. But yeah, I gotta do this, and I still have to watch pretty much all of my Ozark episode for the video tomorrow. So yeah, let's get on with it. So we have 21 Savage and David with a new Call of Duty Modern Warfare track for their little soundtrack. You know, 21 Savage has been doing a lot of stuff for Call of Duty, actually. It's been pretty cool to see the rapper, you know, go through it with that company. Jesus, okay. I need to re-wrap that. But, yeah, sorry, got sidetracked, but yeah, not a bad song. I mean, it's a typical 21 Savage feature. I'm kind of getting tired of 21 Savage, really, like what his sound is right now. I don't think it's in a great spot. I think it could be way better. It is what it is, man. I mean, 21 Savage is still making money at the end of the day. He's still a pretty relevant rapper, of course, just working on an album with Drake a little under a year ago, that sort of thing. I rambled about that for way too long, but the Kid Laroi, Jungkook, and Central C come together for an interesting collaboration. I feel like that's really the theme this week, is interesting collabs. It's too much. You never thought a K-pop artist would come together with a UK drill artist who would come together with some sort of like emo Aussie rapper. You know, it's really interesting collab here. It's cool that they did that. Nice little experimentation. Nothing much to say about it. It definitely wasn't that good of a track to me, but moving on, because we have Rick Ross and Meek Mill's brand new track, Lyrical Easy. They're actually getting ready to come out with an album called Too Good to Be True. It's going to be 17 tracks. There's already 2 singles out for it. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any sort of formal review for it. I'll probably just listen through for some features, blah, blah, blah. Speaking of tandems, you know, 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne just came out with their new song, Pressure. They have Welcome to Collie Grove that's dropping in a couple weeks, probably like 3 weeks. I think it's like 3 or so. But yeah, Pressure, there's a lot of tracks, 21 tracks. Expect a lot of features on that album, especially when you're comparing it to like Rick Ross and Meek Mill's records. Yeah. NBA Youngboy actually came back and dropped a track for the first time in quite a bit. Heard of Me. It's typical YB stuff. I'm not really going to be jacking that much. I'm not a huge fan of it. So yeah, moving on to Key Glock, who keeps dropping kind of these Lucy singles. He drops Murder in Millions. He's got a really hard beat style, but honestly, it is pretty worn out. He does kind of do the same thing over and over again, so hopefully he can kind of transform his sound even more than he already has, because he's honestly been probably one of the most improved rappers of the entire year. I think Key Glock has had quite a run for himself, so yeah, I don't know. So yeah, moving on, Lil TJ and Kyle Rich. I wasn't sure who Kyle Rich was at first, but I pretty sure he has a couple popular sounds on TikTok. So yeah, him working with Lil TJ is a nice little break for him. And yeah, I don't really care for this song. I don't really care for a lot of songs this week, I'm going to be honest. But Lyrical Lemonade dropped a track with Lil Tracy, Corbin, and Black Cray. Interesting artists. They each have interesting sounds. So yeah, it was kind of cool to see Lyrical Lemonade do this. It's more of like an industry piece. It's more of like a DJ Khaled type of album we're getting here. You know, Lil Durk's working with Kid Cudi, Lil Tracy and Corbin are working with a guy like Black Cray. I think it's super cool. So it's a cool idea, and obviously there's like music videos with every single song, which is a really cool idea. But I think there's going to be one, I would assume. But yeah, Coach Ice, however you want to say the man's name, he dropped a new track called Champions League. I've kind of fallen off the Cochise wave a little bit. I listened to an album, I think, last year, and I thought very highly of it. I think it was like Professor or something like that. Mr. Professor, whatever. But yeah, I kind of fell off his wave recently. I will be admitting that. So it is what it is. He hasn't really struck me as an artist that I'm really thinking of paying attention to, but there's that. Wu-Tang Clan dropped a track with Ghostface Killah, who's obviously a part of the group. There's a lot of different people that are a part of the group. Mathematics, Nicole Bus, I don't know. Just kind of a track for the old heads out there. I don't think a whole lot of people really care about Wu-Tang anymore. They're not super relevant, but I guess it's cool to see them drop new music. I didn't really care for it. As we get into the brand new City Girls album, Raw. Obviously, Uzi was showing love for his girl JT on this album. You get, Lil Durk, you get JT. Well, obviously, JT is the City Girl, but you get Lil Durk, Juicy J, Usher, Mooney Long, I think, is a pretty decent artist. She's more of an old school, I think. So, yeah, City Girls had a couple decent artists on their album. I don't really have much to say about it. You guys know how I feel about female rap. I have expressed myself time and time again on this channel about how I feel about female rappers. But anyways, Wale dropped Max Julian. Interesting track to say the least. I don't know. It's okay, I suppose. I don't really have a lot to say about these tracks. I might just mention them and then we can get on with the end of the video. Chris Brown dropped a song with Davido and Lil J called Sensational. I don't really care for that type of stuff. It's more of like an international sound, like a global sound. Tropical. You get the vibes. It's like a Burna Boy type thing. But J-Rock also made a song with Absol, so some pretty dope top dog artists working together on a song. It's cool. Kali Uchis, I think, actually has an album coming out in like a couple weeks. Oh no, it's not coming out till next year. She already has a song with JT and El Alpha on it. Now she dropped Tim Mata. I'm obviously not a huge fan of Latin music. I'm a lyric guy. I have to really understand what someone's saying. I completely respect you if you like the sound of music simply, but I have to know what the person is saying. And if I'm sure, I could go through, read some lyrics, and be like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. That's not bad. So yeah, it's one of those type of things. But Dina Ayada dropped a new track called Girls Cry 2. I think she has like a little EP coming out soon. I want to say she does. She's an okay artist. I'm kind of getting tired of her sound, but it's always cool to give her kind of a shout out on the channel. As we get Hot Boy working with ATL Jacob on NASA. ATL Jacob's quite a legendary producer. He's been around for quite some time. But I don't have much to say. So will.i.am and J Balvin dropped a track which is super interesting called Let's Go. I feel like they had to have been doing this in promo for something because it's got that race sound to it. It's got the race cars, like the Formula cars on the... I don't know, I feel like it's like a theme song or like a soundtrack for some sort of thing, some event, some movie, whatever. But yeah, 21 Lil Harold dropped a track. Again, the only reason I listen to 21 Lil Harold is because of his relations with 21 Savage and kind of like the label Slaughter Gang and whatnot. Yeah. Stunner for Vegas dropped a track. It's been a minute since I've heard from Stunner for Vegas. I will say I don't really like him as an artist anymore, but he dropped a song with YTB Fat. I don't know. Jimbo World dropped a track with Babyface Ray, which was okay, I guess. Jimbo World got that cool little Kodak Black voice to him. Not much to say. It's got a really interesting beat there. Rex Life Raj dropped an album. He had Kamaya on there. Obviously, like Dame Dollar, Damian Lillard, whatever you want to call him, was on here. But, yeah, interesting stuff. So I don't have much to say about that. Young Scooter dropped an album. Obviously, he had a really decent single with Future. But this album had No Cap, Money Man, Pee Wee Longway, Young Nudie. Pretty solid lineup here for Young Scooter. He's actually a pretty solid artist. He was a part of one of my favorite songs from that Future album. I can't remember what that song's called. What's Called My Wrist from John Baff. I love that song off that Future record. It's definitely the best track on that deluxe, and Young Scooter was a part of it, so I was definitely interested to kind of listen to what he had on this little project. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. That is the end of the new music. I'm kind of just acknowledging what dropped, giving my brief thoughts on it. Yeah, just kind of call it a day. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. GZTV. Tomorrow we're getting an edited Ozark video for the second episode of season 4. Obviously I'm going to start recording my NFL stuff. Pretty decent week of football, actually. A lot of dope games, but Obviously, I'm not happy about my team, but